Hey guys, it's the Chad, your C10 truck nerd. Well, it's been a while since I gave you guys an update on the progress or lack of progress on my 30x40 shop. Now initially when we started building this back in the summer, I was hoping we'd get it done, I could get electricity out here and just start working, but that didn't happen. You know, winter set in quick and truly I just ran out of funds and that stunk. But I just had no idea how much electricians would charge to wire a full building up and run service or a new service out here. I mean, it was shocking. 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 Idiot. So I guess the older I get, I either can't remember or I just can't wrap my mind around how much stuff actually costs, you know? I just can't catch up with inflation, which is terrible. I remember 15 years ago when we went through and built a 24x24 wood garage, you know, 5-inch concrete stem walls, finished everything off for $8,500, and then I had a full wire job and new service run out there for $1,200. So I was like, okay, you know, this is quite a bit bigger, but how much more could it be? And I'll tell you, it's a crap ton. You know, I was not expecting some of the bids that I got from the initial electricians. It started anywhere between $5,000 to almost $15,000 to wire this whole thing up and run either service from the house or run a new service. So there was no way that my cheap butt was gonna pay somebody to do that, or, you know, we just didn't have the money to do that. That was almost a third of the price of building the whole shop and doing a lot of the yard work out here. So I needed to come up with a plan B in a hurry. So I slowed everything down and tried to figure out what else could we do, because just the materials to run it over that 300 feet with conduit wire, chopping up my nice regraded yard, getting the drainage right, I didn't want to spend close to $3,000 on that. So plan B, I found that we had an electrical power pole in the corner in the easement of the property. We're underground, but everybody else around us is above ground. So I was like, man, I wonder if I can tap into that transformer. So I called the local energy company, and the rep came out and just took a look at things with me, and he said, oh yeah, there's plenty of room on here to run a 100 amp service to your building. And I was like, sweet. And it's only about 112, 118 feet from the pole to the building. Cool thing is, he says, hey, you know, if it's under 130 feet, we'll provide and pull the wire for free. So awesome. That's the plan. Now the downfall is the energy company is a little more restrictive than what city code is. They say that I have to put 3-inch Schedule 40 conduit down. It's got to be at least 30 inches deep with two 36-inch 90-degree sweeps at both ends. And if you don't know how much conduit costs right now, it is $67 per 10-foot stick of 3-inch. 2-inch, it's only $25, so I don't get it, but that's what I'm dealt with. But it's still cheaper for me to have this shorter run because they're gonna provide the wire and pull it, than going the other route or ruining my yard to get it out here. So we are gonna have to pay a little bit more money to have a second service each month, but it's not gonna be that much, so that's what we're gonna do. Now I've also gone through and spent the last 6 months watching every sale at Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon, and I've also been searching Marketplace for any deals that I can find. And I'll tell you what, doing that has saved me a ton of money. So let's go in and I'll show you what I came up with. So here's an accumulation of all this stuff that I collected in the last couple months, and I tell you, it was totally worth being patient for because I saved hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Now the majority of this stuff came directly off of Marketplace, and no, I'm not buying used electric stuff. It is all brand new, and I think the majority of it was from electricians that probably had their customers pay for everything. They had leftovers. They wanted to pocket some money, so they threw it on Marketplace cheap, and there I was to buy it. That, and I watched all the sales from the big box stores. I was able to pick a lot of stuff up for half and, you know, a third of the price on clearance. It was a great experience going that route. Like all these receptacles, I got like 40 of them for $5 off of Marketplace. I just had to go through and replace the nails on them because they had sat outside and got wet. I picked up all these gray ones from Menards on clearance. I was paying like, I think I paid like 17 cents a piece for these, 25 cents for the double gang. I mean, it was crazy. Picked up all these Eaton breakers for $40. I mean, well over $200, but an electrician gave me a deal. Picked up all the wire nuts, staples. I was buying the outlets and switches in the 10 packs for, you know, $5 a piece. I got all this 14.2 and 14.3 given to me by buddies. I got a 1,000-foot roll of 12.2 from a guy that overbought and he couldn't return it, so I saved $120 there. It just, if you're patient and you know you're gonna be building a garage or a house, go through and start stockpiling this stuff, because like I said, you can save a ton of money, and I haven't even got to the conduit yet. So we'll go out there and I'll show you how much I saved out there as well. So I was able to go through and find 13 sticks of Schedule 40 and 2 sticks of Schedule 80 off a marketplace for just about $200, including the 2 sweeps. Now that's saving me nearly $800. So marketplace for the win. So as everything sits today, I'm in for less than $1,000 for all of this material, which is awesome. Now I do have to go through and hire a licensed electrician to go through and pull the permit, set the panel, and do the minimum wiring to pass inspection. Now, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to move forward after this. I can change some switches and outlets and do some basic wiring. But I do have a neighbor that's a retired electrician. He says, oh man, this is easy. I'll come down, I'll help you run everything, put stuff where it needs to be, and we'll just go from there. So instead of just doing the minimums with the electrician, I think we're just gonna go through and wire everything up. Once we get it all done, I'll call him out and have him correct or fix anything that maybe we screwed up or is not up to code. He can set the panel, we can get everything done, and we'll just be finished in one fell swoop. And this electrician's awesome. I got his name from my gutter guy, and he'll do as much or as little as we want, and it's just kind of by the hour. So this will work out pretty good with me doing all the trenching, you know, saving thousands of bucks there. If we can do this, save another few thousand. So this is actually going to be, hopefully, well, nothing's affordable, but much more affordable. So we're gonna get a game plan I'm gonna figure out. I've started taping out where I think I want all the receptacles and switches and all that stuff. So we'll get going. So talking with all my buddies who have shops, they said, hey Chad, you just cannot put enough outlets in a building, and I'd have to agree. So I'm gonna put a bunch in here. Anywhere where there's blue painter's tape is kind of where I've laid things out. It's about an arm span. So about every 4 feet, I'm dumping an outlet or maybe a double outlet. That's gonna give me about 25 of them on the walls so far. Now this far wall, this is where I'm gonna put my workbench and toolboxes and stuff, put a loft up top, and then I can have some lighting a little lower over the top of my workspace. It's just gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be a bunch, but it's cheap. It just costs you a receptacle box and a little bit of labor. So plan is to put about 6 high bay lights up top, put a couple lights up in the attic, soffit lights. It's gonna be a lot of light, you know, but why not do it right the first time and be done. So now you guys have seen how I've saved so much money on the electrical to this point, and you know, there's nothing wrong with buying things off a marketplace as long as they're new. I just don't recommend buying used electrical stuff because you just run the risk of burning your shop down. Well, if you guys haven't, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you come back next time because I'm gonna rent me a trencher. I've got to learn how to use it, cut me a 120-foot hole in the ground, lay some conduit, and start all of our preliminary wiring. And talked to my cousin today, and he said he's gonna come up and give me a hand as well. And you know, when you get us together, bad stuff happens. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.